The 2024 annual meeting of the Montgomery County Board of Education is called to order. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. Please do remember to mute all electronic devices. There are 7 members present this evening. I declare that a quorum is present. Our agenda has been posted for review. Board members, is there objection to adopting our agenda by unanimous consent? Is there objection? Hearing no objection, our agenda has been adopted by unanimous consent. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow board members, the greatest part of this job is making impactful decisions to help ensure student success. From our athletic achievements, adding flag football, middle school tennis, to new and innovative programming. Last week, we conducted a ribbon cutting at the Cosmetology and Barbering Department at Johnson Abernathy Gratz High School. There are numerous facilities being built and or refurbished. We are engaged in infrastructure building through our facilities as well as transportation. The Montgomery County Board of Education is a governance body elected by our constituents to address the what's and the why questions of schooling. We set the purpose and the direction of the school district, allowing our district leaders, the superintendent, her cabinet, school leadership, to focus on those how questions. As we move forward, I hope that we shall continue to review and submit constructive policy feedback that will help us in our advocating for students, for the district, for all of our needs. During this tenure, 2 committees were able to complete tasks on behalf of this board. They will report for us this evening, or to us this evening. The following reports are for information only. Let us begin with the Bylaws Committee report. Ms. Cassandra Brown chaired.
Good evening, Madam Chair, Superintendent, board members, and audience. I am bringing forth the report of the Bylaws Committee, and my committee members are Claudia Mitchell and Mrs. Cloud, Pamela Cloud. And we used attorney Dana Hill as our consultant throughout this process. And we were able to complete our task, and that included us cleaning up our bylaws and receiving clarification and actually receiving information about the law that regards our bylaws. And that was very enlightening, both enlightening and beneficial to us as board members. And this evening, I will share with you the considerations that we gave and approved for our bylaw changes. There were, I believe, 6 changes that were given, and they were some were very minor changes to our bylaws, and others required some much discussion. And we came to the conclusion and all agreed and approved the bylaws. Our first change was to our Article 3, that it was a legislative change that we clarified, and we inserted the law that directs us to this code. And it was basically reducing our terms from 6 years to 4 years. That was an old change, but we needed to add the law and the rationale for that change. Secondly, we had a change that affected our cycle or our order of our board meeting as well as our work session. We flipped them, meaning that we now have our work session, our board meeting first and our work session after. Therefore, it gives us time to digest the information before taking action in the following meeting. So that was the second change. The third change was a clarity and it's a transparency, actually, and we inserted a law reference as well to that clarification. The fourth change was purely clarification, and it was from Article 5, Section 4 of our bylaws. The next change was from Article 7 of our bylaws, and it was providing, there were no changes, it was cleaning up the structure of that section of the bylaw. The next change was in Section 8 of our bylaws, and it was only to provide clarity in the terminology and affixing the proper law statute in that area of the Section 8 of our bylaws. Terminology only. The next change was for clarification. We needed clarity on what constituted a majority vote, and that was in Section 9 of our bylaws, parliamentary authority. And that is all of the changes that we made to our bylaws. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank the committee and our guidance that was given to us by Attorney Dana Hill as our consultant. And I would also like to take the opportunity to thank the chair and the committee, the board members for giving me the opportunity to work on this committee, and we were effective in our work. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. At this time, we will hear from the Community Engagement Committee, reporting the chair, Ms. Pamela Portis.
Thank you. Likewise, Madam Chair, I thank you for giving me the opportunity to serve on this committee. I had no idea the fulfillment that it would give and the success we would have. On our team was Erica Watkins-Smith, Claudia Mitchell, Dr. Rosalind Daniels, and Phaedra Foster. Phaedra was instrumental for the PTA. We had Dr. Daniels, who oversaw the district. She does some great community, she has great community resources, and the nuggets she gave us were wonderful. Claudia gave us the Apple Core model that we decided to choose and model our district after. And Erica, she brought to us special education. She ran from building to building with me to see what was safe, where we could meet. And we were meeting at the PSC, which was a great location, but due to some safety concerns on the second floor, we moved. So we scouted out the district. And of course, they said no, 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 yes. So we're looking at Bellinger Hills if this committee continues just to have a safe location with great parking, sort of like a community bridge, somewhere where we could invite the community to come so that we can do trainings, we can do cafes, we can do virtual settings and provide some great knowledge and provide a connection for the community. We did have so many obligations we wanted to finish by this time of the year, but other things kept us from it. but we did meet some goals. The PTSA, we now have 15 elementary schools, 3 middle, 5 high, with current active PTAs. And that's a wonderful, wonderful feat. We thank Phaedra and the whole PTSA staff for working so diligently. We do have other schools that need to organize. So if you know somebody, you're interested in helping yourself at your school, and we ask you to ask in your building if there is a PTA. And if there is not, find out a way that you might be of service to them. Our new business, if this committee is continued, then we have several things that we talked about. One was a resource roundup. Let me mention one other member of the team, and that's Felicia Martin. We were talking about absenteeism and how absenteeism was such a hard thing to tackle. And we were able to go to the National Family Involvement Summit in, where was it, Savannah? And Ms. Smith went with me. And Dr. Daniels was there, Ms. Martin was there, and it was a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful summit. And one of the biggest nuggets I got, they had their mayor talk. And the mayor talked about how he went to the superintendent and said, hey, we want a part of this. What can we do? He said he actually put on jeans and T-shirts and went to places where children weren't going to school to try to facilitate how they would get to school. Because some of the problems didn't belong to the families or the children. Some of the problems were the children did not have direct passage to school. So the city partnered with them and helped them with that. They are very active in Savannah, and they have it right. I know while we were going through some changes here at MPS, one of the things we heard mostly was that we're not inclusive in how we deal with children. And everybody's absolutely right. We should be more inclusive because there is something to gain from every entity. And we want to provide that front to every student and every parent to see how we can help. We also, one of the classes I attended talked about family engagement versus family involvement. Family involvement is when we put out a notice and tell families we're having this and this and this at a certain time. Well, when they don't show up, we don't do anything. When they don't show up, we send them the next notice. Well, family engagement goes a step further. If I throw a party and I cook all this food and none of you all show up, I'm going to call somebody and see, well, where were you? Because we were expecting you. I think we'll have to get to that. Our parents need to know that we're serious about them coming. We want their engagement. They have wonderful ideas, and that's one of the things that we saw a lot of school districts at this summit taking advantage of it. So we want them to come. We talked about virtual meetings. We talked about cafes, because cafes, when you think of a cafe, you think of Starbucks, where people meet to share ideas, and not just a meeting where I stand before you and tell you what I'd like you to do, but we engage you in that. So this has been a strong, strong engagement committee. I hope it continues so we can, so someone can look into absenteeism, mental health, conflict resolution. All of those were our focus for 2025. And anything that this committee has planned before we leave, it will be sent to the board members so you can let your constituents know in your district.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I sincerely thank each of you as chairs and your teams for your service. All committee members and partners, thank you for your input on behalf of this organization and our students. Your work has been essential to enhancing the work that I hope we will continue, and I encourage each of you to use your expertise, however you find fit, to move our board as well as our district forward. As this term comes to a close, again, I thank you. These assignments have been completed, and all of the appointed committees from this term are officially dissolved. Again, thank you. The next item on our agenda will be our swearing-in ceremonies. Our newly elected members, I would like to congratulate each of you. And first, we present District 4, Ms. Cassandra Brown. And she will be sworn in by the Honorable Anita Kelly, 15th Judicial Circuit Court of Alabama, retired.
Greetings. Thank you, board members, for what you do in our community in Montgomery County, Alabama. All right, if you would, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Cassandra Brown, do solemnly or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the state of Alabama, and that I will faithfully and honestly serve the duties of this office so long as I remain a citizen thereof.
as long as I remain a citizen thereof.
All right. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we present Mrs. Erica Watkins Smith, District 7. Ms. Smith will be sworn in by Attorney Erica Powell, General Counsel for the Montgomery County Board of Education. Ms. Powell.
Good evening, everyone, and congratulations, Board Member Erica Watkins Smith. If you will, raise your right hand and please repeat after me. I, Erica Watkins Smith, solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Alabama, so long as I remain a citizen thereof, and that I will faithfully and honestly discharge the duties of the office which I am about to enter. Of the office enter to the best of my ability. So help me God. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you. At this time, our newly sworn-in members will recite their oath and affirmations together.
as required by the School Board Governance Improvement Act of 2012. I do hereby affirm all the following principles of educational governance.
On that each decision,
Action and the vote I take and
or
make
as
a
a
member of the school board shall be based solely on the needs and interests of the students in the system.
2, that I will take or make, we'll just keep going,
Decision,
action or vote to serve or promote my personal,
political,
or pecuniary interests.
interest,
3,
that each decision, action, and vote I take or make shall be based on the educational interests of the school system as a whole. 4, that I will consider the views of all members of the board and the superintendent before taking or making a decision or taking an action on any measure or proposal before the board. 5, that except to the extent otherwise provided by law, I shall take formal action only upon the written recommendation of and in consultation with the superintendent, and that I may not individually or jointly attempt to direct or corrupt the operations of the school system in any manner inconsistent with the discharge of the statutory functions and responsibilities of the superintendent. 6, that I shall actively promote public support for the school system and a sound statewide system of public education, and shall endorse ideas, initiatives, and programs that are designed to improve the quality of public education for all students. 7, that I shall attend scheduled meetings and actively participate in school functions, activities, training, programs that promote quality boardsmanship unless good cause is shown.
Thank you both very much. And again, congratulations. The next item on our agenda, appropriate, thank you. Next on the agenda will be the election of officers. These officers will take their offices as of December 1, 2024, and serve through November 30, 2025. The first is the election of president. We will begin the nominations and the elections process. First, the floor is open for the nominations for president of the Montgomery County Board of Education. Are there nominations? I see a hand. Ms. Pamela Cloud.
I would like to recommend Erica Watkins Smith for board president.
Is that your nomination?
Yes, my nomination.
Thank you. We have Erica Watkins Smith nominated for president. Are there other nominations? Ms. Mitchell?
I nominate Dr. Brenda DeRamus Coleman for president.
Okay, thank you. We have Dr. Brenda DeRamus Coleman's name in nomination. Are there other nominations? Are there other nominations? At this time, I will pass the gavel to our superintendent, and she will carry out that process.
Hearing no further nominations, the nominations for president, board president are closed. We will now proceed with the vote. Starting with our first nominee,
All those in favor of Erica Watkins-Smith for President of Montgomery Board of Education, please raise your hand in affirmation. I count 4. Our next nominee, Dr. Brenda Doremus Coleman. All those in favor for Dr. Coleman for President of the Montgomery Board of Education, please raise your hand in affirmation. The majority vote affirms Ms. Erica Watkins-Smith as President of Montgomery Board of Education. Congratulations.
Thank you, and congratulations, Ms. Erica Watkins-Smith. The next item on the agenda will be Vice President. Are there nominations?
Yes, I'd like to nominate Pamela Portis.
We have one nomination, Ms. Pamela Portis. Are there other nominations? Are there other nominations? Hearing no further nominations, the nominations are closed. And if it's okay with our board, by unanimous consent, we can affirm that Ms. Pamela Portis is our Vice President. Congratulations. Congratulations to both of you. We have elected Ms. Erica Watkins-Smith as our new president. We have elected Ms. Pamela Portis as our vice president. We congratulate you and look forward to a wonderful term. Ladies, gentlemen, fellow board members, this concludes our agenda for the evening. Thanks to everyone. Have a great evening. Our next scheduled meeting is Tuesday, December 10, 5 o'clock.